Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Let the night wrap around you like a heavy, comforting blanket. But before you drift away into sleep, let me tell you a story. A story of a house that waits. It doesn't move, it doesn't speak, but it remembers. Michael had always been drawn to abandoned places. He wasn't sure why. Perhaps it was the thrill of the unknown, or the stories buried beneath dust and decay. So when he heard about the house at the edge of Blackwood Forest, he knew he had to see it for himself. The locals called it the Waiting House. No one had lived there for decades, but the windows were never broken, the doors never creaked, and the house always seemed intact, like it was expecting something or someone. Michael arrived just as the sun dipped below the horizon. The trees whispered in the wind, their bare branches clawing at the sky like skeletal fingers. As he stepped onto the cracked stone path leading to the house, he felt it, a shift in the air, as if the house had just noticed him. The door opened easily, too easily. Inside, the air smelled of old wood and something faintly metallic. The furniture remained untouched, as if the owners had simply stepped out and never returned. A thick layer of dust covered everything. Everything except for a single chair in the center of the room. Michael's footsteps echoed as he walked deeper into the house. The silence was heavy, pressing against his skin. Then a sound, a whisper, so soft it could have been imagined. "Welcome back." Michael froze. He was alone. The voice had come from upstairs. Slowly, he ascended the staircase, each step groaning under his weight. At the top, the hallway stretched into darkness, doors lining both sides like waiting mouths. One door at the very end was slightly open. A dim, flickering light pulsed from within. He stepped closer, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. Inside the room, a single candle burned atop an old wooden desk. The walls were covered in faded photographs. Michael stepped closer, eyes scanning the images, and then his breath hitched. Every photograph was of him. Him as a child, him as a teenager, him standing in front of this very house. Pictures that had never been taken. A shadow moved behind him. He turned sharply. Nothing there. The candle flickered wildly, and suddenly he wasn't in the room anymore. He was in the forest, but the trees were different. Taller, darker, twisted into unnatural shapes. And then he saw it. The house, standing before him as if it had been waiting all along. But something was different. The windows weren't empty anymore. Something watched him from inside. Michael tried to move, but his feet wouldn't obey. A memory, no, a realization, rushed through him like ice. He had been here before, not just today, not just once, again and again through lifetimes he couldn't remember. He wasn't exploring this house, he was returning to it. The door creaked open, Darkness spilled out like ink, reaching for him. A hand, pale, cold, touched his shoulder. "You're home now." The whisper came again, only this time it wasn't from behind him. It was inside his own head. Michael gasped as his vision blurred. The world twisted, folding in on itself like a reflection in shattered glass. And then silence. The house stood still once more, empty, waiting. Outside, the wind carried a whisper through the trees. Another traveler would come. And like all before them, they would not leave. Because the house remembers. And the house always waits. And now, as you lay in bed with the darkness around you, listen. Can you hear it? The whisper in the night, the feeling that something unseen is watching. Perhaps it's just the wind, or perhaps something is waiting for you too. Sleep well, if you can.